Yane, Kao, no no aye, Yanasea. Hello, holy ones. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this space. Welcome to this space, our beautiful LA Expo team of light. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. All right, dear ones. This space is going to be a space where you get to share anything you want to share if you'd like to share. And I would like to be able to share it with others as well, if you're all right with that. Yes, to give people an understanding of what it was like on this side of the space. They may have the understanding of receiving, being in the space with you, and or connecting with the spaces we held there. But you have a different perspective view of being the facilitator of the space. So I'd really love to get feedback from anybody who would like to share anything they had come in during the workshop, okay, or the lecture, if you were there and you want to share anything. And then also, in general, your take on what you experienced. And you can come from any angle. You can come from making the decision to even go. What was that like for you? Being there, the first space you held, a space that stood out to you that you held. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever's just on your heart, whatever's in divine alignment with what wants to come through you. You are a messenger of the divine in form. I am a messenger of the divine in form. So what message is the divine wanting to share with itself? Does that make sense to you? All right. Does anybody want to jump in here and agree to go first? Let's see. Who's going to do this? All right. Amy, will you talk? Will you speak? All right, Amy. Thank you. Let me put you on here. And okay. All right, Amy, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, the whole trip was an adventure, and it was like, amazing from beginning to end. I'm so glad I agreed to go, and thank you for inviting me. Like the shared experiences in the booth, out of the booth, during your talk, it was just all amazing. Um, During your talk, I do remember just being so moved. Of course, it was just moving all together, but I had moments of just the clarity and the connection. It mirrored a lot of what that girl shared, that raised her hand to share, and lots of visuals came in, and I really felt this overpowering presence behind you. And I saw this big orb, and the second I kind of tuned into that energy, I just felt instantly it was like Yeshua energy, and like tears flowed. And it was just so palatable. And then walking away from that space, like, whoa, that was amazing. And then going right into the booth to help with people and doing sessions. And that in itself was another amazing aspect of this outreach, because I really felt the connection with each one I assisted, and in the meditation, the guided meditation and activation. Yeah, it's just fun to be such a powerful proxy for people's energy to like roll through and clear and just get to visually see it all and share what you see, and they're just so moved, and it was really a fun experience.
That's beautiful, Amy. Thank you for that. Were there any spaces with your people, any feedback you were given, or any notation you made of something you could witness or received feedback on from any of those that you were connecting with on how they were registering, or were they registering? Was it different? Was it whatever? Any feedback at all?
A lot of people were just moved to like almost like the shocked awareness of themselves. Like, whoa, that was intense. Like, wow, I've never done that before. And what was that? you know, um, and a lot of it, I would say things and they would be validating things that they had been doing or seeing or wanting to do. So that was fun. That was great for me and for them, you know.
I
So,
love it. I love
yeah.
it. What about going back home? where you notice anything going on, or even while you were there, did you notice anything going on in your body or the space around you, your energy? Could you tell things were shifting, opening, changing, calibrating? I mean, what was going on? Anything at all with you, your body, your environment?
Yeah, I think as I allowed the space to expand, I really stepped into that more awareness of others' energy on like a new level by being in person. I don't know, like maybe it was a mental thing for me, but I really got into tune into people so much faster than I think initially I was aware of.
Beautiful. Yeah, I picked up on that as well. I was doing that same thing as well. All right, Amy, that was fantastic. Anything else you want to add here?
No, just like I it was just take me back already. Like
All
I
right,
love
that's a perfect answer
people.
because I was going to ask you, would you do it again?
Yeah.
You
Yeah, that
would?
was a
You would
really
do it
fun
again?
experience.
All right, great,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. All right, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Holy One. Thank you, Holy One. All right, let's see. Kirsten, will you speak? All right. All right, Kirsten, here you go. What would you like to share with us, Holy One?
First of all, thank you. I'll reflect what Amy said as well as the whole experience from the moment I said yes, from the moment I decided to allow for the experience to be different than any other expo I had ever experienced. And this is what Acasma is, anyways, right? Is we're always being invited into a new space of ourselves. And I think the challenge for that is when you have had other spaces like it, like I've worked expos before, not with Cosma, and and honestly, they weren't the most pleasant experiences. And so you and I had to have a conversation. Like I have to get to the space where I, in my own self and my own heart, decide to allow for this to unfold without me trying to micromanage it, without all of these other spaces. And so once I said yes and I locked into that space, it was just like full steam ahead, from the Zoom spaces that we shared together, all of us, starting back in September or October, whenever that was. It was just magnificent. And the actual expo, though, it was so heart filling. It was so, I'll start crying. I got to meet in person one of my pod members. Oh, it was just absolutely beautiful. It was so cool. One of the things that was super fun that I hadn't anticipated, and I don't know why, was being in the booth and facilitating sessions with my other facilitator friends and teacher friends, and running and facilitating in person, which I'd done a little bit, but mostly I facilitate C to C. So doing it in person, like Amy, like the connection was so immediate. Everything that we teach in AQE Foundations, everything from you're the bridge, it's not about what you do, it's who you be, all that stuff was really because it was so heightened because there was so much activity and energy around us, people walking by, asking questions, noises, music, everything that we had to, and the invitation was to really step into presence and being fully present with whoever we were with and whoever I was with. And it was so incredible. And it was so easy. It was so easy to facilitate a session in the midst of external chaos. And every time I worked with somebody, and I think I worked with 39 or 40 people over the course of days and or 3 days, all but maybe five cried. And not just like a tear, but it was just this remembrance of themselves, this coming back to home, this deep breath of relaxation, this deep breath of being seen, this deep breath of heart connection, not only with each other, but more importantly with themselves. And this was happening in 10 minutes in the expo with people who don't know anything about Acasma. I mean, it was that instantaneous. And what I really came to know and see was that everybody that is drawn to this work in whatever way they do, whatever way they interact with it, that connection is like right there. It's not this space outside of us. It's just a space of recognition. And to be able to do that and facilitate and be in the space of that so quickly, so powerfully, making connections from our hearts, speaking about what matters. All of these spaces were just like blossoming and blossoming and blossoming and blossoming. It was so fun. And then also the knowing, and I'll be quiet in just a minute. Also, I could talk forever. And the knowing and the seeing and the information that every single person that we connected with, whether we facilitated a session or not, when they when they slowed their stroll and they looked and they're like, "What is that, Acasma? What is that?" That they were anchoring the higher dimensional spaces that Acasma provides as a connection point too. And then for those who were, open enough to say, yeah, I'll have a session to do that. And then they were walking out and spreading the frequency and the vibration of Acasma as well. And that was super cool. It was just like if you've ever planted wildflowers and you take the seeds and you're just like, whoosh, right? And that's what I felt like we were doing in the conversations that we had when we were walking around spaces, when we were in the lecture and the teaching space. And that was a wild ride. It was fabulous in so many ways, personally, professionally, heart ways, energetically, all the things. So, yeah, it was great. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I hope I get to do it again in a heartbeat.
Thank you for that, Holy One. Thank you for that. And I was going to ask you, so that's great. You answered my question. You and AB both answered before I even asked. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. And we'll talk in more depth on that as well. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for being this space. Thank you for being
Thank
this
you.
space.
Thank you so much for seeing me and holding space for all of this to unfold for everybody, not just the people who attended the expo, but the participants at the expo, the people in our Cosma family. Everybody felt the reverb of this experience. I know this. It was magnificent. Thank you. Tone ikoe.
Yarakuku anea sawa. Thank you, Holy One. All right. Let's see. Kat, would you like to share? Let's see.
I want to say that the most powerful was when I walked in and saw you wearing white outfit and being barefoot on the stage. And I was like, we're gonna move the earth. And then there was the earthquake right after. That was the most powerful. I was very grounded during this first session that you had, and I felt like the building was grounding. Like we always speak about pillars. I felt like almost, I'm double tourist in astrology. I was like really even more grounded ever. My spine was more straight, and I was working with people who were sitting there. I was checking what's happening with them, and everyone was just so deeply there. The presence. The second day when you were giving the talk, I feel like we were on the higher floor. We were already doing the Acasma. I felt more energy was flowing, was easier. It was the second time, and I just felt like you could do it every day. I was just like, now must we have it done? I work with people mostly in person, so that wasn't that much of a um, surprise for me. But there were a few times that I got surprised by those who never experience any energy work. There was or the lady that kind of felt like she didn't know why she was there. She just kind of wandering into a hotel, and her heart just opened deeply, first time since she was 6 years old. And you seeing someone going for the whole body, for the whole life, with this body, with this physical experience, forgetting that there is more. And then every time someone would open the eyes after the session, and I have this moment when we see each other, it's like I'm seeing them for the first time, and they recognize they feeling better, they feeling more like themselves, they recognize the higher vibration, whatever that is. But that feeling that they really felt recharged and reconnected, I could see there in the eyes being open. And for my personal journey, meeting people there, I think I could count 4 or 5 people that I just saw there without words. It was this recognition. We say it in yoga, my light, bow to the light in you. And I just thank you for doing the work. We don't necessarily have to work in the same areas we don't have to, even follow the same teachers, but to be in a space with few of them that I recognize as deep spiritual beings, thinkers, activists, and whatnot. But just knowing that there is few of us working on the same level of consciousness right now, and if it's Acasma, if it's working with the crystals, whatever that is that they were putting the consciousness on and working from, I just felt that the vibration was that high. Would I do it again? Yes, but the connections with LA is, there's no such a thing as coincidence. So since I came back, every week I have people from LA coming here. I have emails from LA. I have emails from people that I met there who were my clients, who are connected to Atlantis, Egypt. So all of these things that I am exploring with my own writing, with my own work, was just confirmed. And as the woman who came after the first session, and she just, the things that she saw, that's what we were all describing. And she said Egypt when I talked to her after, and we were like, we just not need to even say the words, because we all know that what we're talking about is what we're talking about, and we know. So that was really sweet, just having those moments of like, I see you, thank you.
I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your presence in this space and all the ways in you that you are you. Thank you, Holy One. All right, let's see. Miss Deborah, would you like to speak with us? All
Yeah.
right.
Well, since I've come back, whenever anybody asks me, "Oh, how was it? How was the expo?" The only word I can say is just amazing. There's not even really true vocabulary to put in the emotion and context of the experience. There's other expos in my hometown area, and anytime I've ever thought about participating in one, I've always heard a resounding no. But as soon as I heard about you planning the expo, I was like, "Ooh, I hope she asks." And I had like a quick second or two of thinking, well, I hope I can get time off from work. And then it was just like, do it. Like it doesn't matter. It's going to open up. You're going to do it. Don't worry about it. And it was such an easy, everything just flowed, even though I had food poisoning my first night and my last night. Um, it just flowed so easily. And I did have concerns about being in a space of such a large volume of humans, because from past experiencing of cheerleading competitions, or it's always been a little overwhelming for me energetically. And maybe because the people participating and going to the expo, just their own vibration or curiosity about expanding themselves, I didn't have any. It felt very smooth, really beautiful, and just so heartfelt. Because I, like Kat, the majority of my sessions are in person, and I'm a mover, and I can get very loud during, sessions with clients. And even though we were in such a small space and working next to each other, and it was noisy, it was just so profound, the immediate connection with the individual. And it was so just a beautiful space of gratitude and oh, I don't know. I don't even have the word, but maybe confirmation of what we do when each person afterwards, it was almost like they were stunned with emotion. And as Amy said, they were tearful. They felt the beauty, they felt the love. They didn't know what Acasma was prior to stepping into the booth, but they experienced so much. And then afterwards, it was just wonderful to get the hugs and, the thanks, and then see them bringing their friends to the booth to say, you've got to try this. Like it's something else. And I don't even think they had words other than that. They would say, I've never experienced anything like this. This isn't like anything I've experienced. And they just expressed feeling such a sense of peace afterwards. So it's just such a powerful, powerful modality. And I am just so grateful to be a part of it and have you as a mentor. It, yeah, I really just don't have words for it. It was just a very powerful, beautiful experience. I think everybody I met, whether they were coming to the booth or we were wandering around to their booths, or I would strike up a conversation with them in the, restaurant. It was just such beauty. Beauty. And I know myself, I feel very different since I'm calm and I'm back to the chaos and frenetic energy at the hospital. And it's just, even though I'm in the midst of it, I feel like it's just like flowing off of me. It's almost like I'm coated in something slippery, and whatever might be wanting to attach is just like, nope, can't do it. And really just sets a sense of peace. And I do have to say, on my ride home from the airport, I saw a huge flash of light, and it was the most brilliant pink and blue and lavender, and it was in the shape of an Acasma star, and it was so quick. It was just like fleeting. I was like, oh, what was that? Was that like a UFO? And yeah, and then once I was home and I took out the dog later and I was taking a picture of the moon, a lot of interesting things showed up in the picture. And I thought, oh, yeah, they're here. They're like all around us. Like we have such a connection to our team, and we're helping others recognize that, they're loved and embraced by the beings of light around them too. So I hope I get asked again.
You are asked. You are asked. Done deal. I love that. And I love when you were saying how it couldn't stick on you, the energy of the spaces that you were returning into, but you weren't really returning into them. I think in the sense, like that's what you're saying as well. You had shifted your vibration. I believe that's what we all did by being that space. Yes, we couldn't return to another space because we were now that space and that vibrational flow. And I love your visions as well. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing those. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And it is, I believe, what you're saying, that resonance of energy, the teams and us and the teams, and the space of existence we are now being. And so the visuals are more prominent as well, and even the physicality, like it was physical sight. What was that? A spaceship? What was that? So I love it. I love it. Anything else you want to share before we move along here?
It was just beautiful, I think, from the very first moment of arriving. And then being able to listen to the very first talk that you did and session, meeting such wonderful women that just embrace, the essence of love and kindness and beauty. It was just such a beautiful experience. As I said, I really don't have the words for it, and I get
But you
very
did well.
emotional
You did well.
talking about it.
You did really well. I know what you mean. And I think also because we're allowing our light language more now than ever, and our light language conveys all so fast. But then we try to revert back into English or whatever else native language we have as a human. And it's like then we're stumbling on the words, trying to find something adequate enough. So you did phenomenal. All right. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for your presence in this space.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Maya, would you like to speak? Your camera's not on, so I didn't want to assume, but Maya, you would like to speak? We would love to see you and hear you. Hello, beautiful Maya.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, hi. Uh, so, so for me, this expo was, I mean, it's so much that I don't know where to start, but where I am was that I'm gonna start with work. Like I just want to share this. I feel this. So I'm working the 9 to 5 job. So for me was very important as I come there to in my own pace shift this pace and anchor a new beautiful reality, to follow the passion and to do the service to others as a healer, to say. So as I come back, I gained more confidence that I can do this. So this is very short like explanation, but the most important thing for me was the you guys basically. So this for me was like the family feeling and like soul family. Like I say yes because I feel in the heart it's pulling me, and then I don't know what is happening or if this is. I was so happy to be in a presence of you. This was for me the most beautiful thing to say. And then after I came home was okay, I'm more confident, I can do this because I saw you guys, you're also doing this. I felt a lot of connection with the heart spaces with other people as well also. So I was like knowing them from the heart space. This came like automatically. And what else? Yeah, that's it. Short.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. So you came from Slovenia. So we'll make note of that to everyone. You had probably the longest journey to take, but you did it and you trusted yourself and you allowed, and you were a massive anchor of higher light. So thank you for being that. I love your wording on the heart, Maya, because I feel like that's how we were having that presence with them. That's how we were having that presence with one another. It was the hearts. The heart centers were just wide open, ever expanding as we were in these spaces. You're really good at reading energies, and that's a very good way of conveying what was happening. So thank you for that. And I feel like we are a family. So thank you for that as well. And thank you for choosing to be a part of this family, Maya. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And I hope you're going to, I think you may do Sedona maybe this year. We might see you again in Sedona. You think about it maybe? I think you and I talked about it a little bit. But, and maybe another expo in the future if you're up for travel.
I'm like kind of thinking more about Sedona, like the pink and rocks. And now I love America so much. And it's like now it's like easy coming into your country because it's like when I came back from the country, it was also so easy because when you're not American person, it's not that it's not so simple to go in the country and out and all the things, but I was so divinely guided that it was like effort. It was like nothing. And I was like just yes, yes, like this. So to go back was like much more easier.
Beautiful. It is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that as well. All right. Thank you, Maya, for being this space. Thank you, Holy One. All right. Let's see. I believe we have beautiful Quantum Kate is here. And I think we're all going to send a wave of love to her right now. If she'd like to speak, we'd love to hear from her. But we would love to say thank you as well, because Janet Kate was our anchor for our entire team. And she held space for us throughout the entire space of preparation, month after month after month. I think she was in every Zoom call we had. And she also held a C2C for us every single day of the expo. So while we were facilitating and teaching and being the space, she was in the quantum, holding an Acasma quantum energy session for all of us and covering the space, covering the expo, covering the outreach of Acasma. So I don't want to assume she wants to come on camera. Maybe she left her camera on and she went to the bathroom. Who knows? But oh, there she is.
I'm still in my pajamas.
Weren't you in them in the grid? You were in them in the grid.
It's been a busy morning.
There's nothing wrong with that, especially if they're comfy.
Get on the video. She's gonna know I'm still in my pajamas. No, I'm getting ready to get in the shower, so I've just been like, I haven't gotten dressed.
All right. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, do you have anything from your perspective as an anchor for this whole space? I know you did send, you sent some art through the process as well that we were able to share with one another over the months of preparation. I love that. I'm pretty sure you had this, if I'm not mistaken, because you share art with me in many places, but there was like a circle spindly thing with the lines and then the circles. And I thought that was so intriguing because we had if you look at the symbol of the expo itself, it has a similar kind of symbol of the little circles. And it reminds me of like the engage alignment thing, with Interstellar when he has to dock the ship and it has to line up just right. But from your perspective, Quantum Kate, Janet Kate, as an anchor of this team, do you have anything you picked up on or wanted to share with us?
Well, for me, it wasn't so much as the expo. It was last year, months before, when some of us did that California healing. And you messaged me and asked me if I would be interested and said that there were 2 spaces left. And you gave me, I think it was either San Diego or Los Angeles. And I immediately knew I wanted to do Los Angeles. And that came to me like as you guys were getting ready to go to California. I'm like, to me, even through everything that everyone is experiencing or what is going on, for me, that was the most amazing thing, is that I chose Los Angeles, because I felt like it was like, without even me even realizing it or you realizing it, it was like this predecessor, this, to what was coming before you even knew that you were going to California. Because that was like in June or July last year, I think.
No,
So,
yeah, you're right. That was incredible. So, for anybody who doesn't know or isn't deeply familiar with what she's speaking on, Julia moved to California from Europe, from London. Julia is a part of our Acasma family. Many of you know her. When she moved there, she was like reaching out to get some assistance because she was feeling like the energy could use some love. And interestingly enough, as Amy was traveling to California the same exact day she was there, when we were going to do this, and Amy had agreed to be one of these 5, I think there were of us, maybe 4 or 5 that held energy for
I think it was 5.
California. I had never even heard of the Conscious Life Expo. I didn't know where they were. I had never ever connected with that at all yet. And here we are working with California, and everybody took a city from the top to the bottom, and Janet Kate chose Los Angeles. So she really is an anchor for this, completely, like even in the way of setting the stage before we even knew we had a stage to set, if you will. All right. Anything, I don't mean to hog your space. Anything else, Janet Kate, or additional spaces here with that?
You're not a space hog. No, I'm good. I'm grateful to be a part of this in the way that I was. It was a really big experience for me because I, like, within less than an hour, knew I was not going to California. And for me to say no was a huge, huge, huge thing. And so I found it very empowering on a personal level. And so I'm very honored to be an anchor, and I'm grateful for everyone that went there. And you know, I love doing C2Cs, but my career was a massage therapist, and so for me, every massage was a spiritual experience, and so I know the depth that can come from, you know, hands-on and being present with someone. It's very powerful. It's not something that I miss, but it's very powerful. So,
All right, Holy
yeah,
One. Well, thank you
thank
for
you.
your space in this as well. Thank you for all that you are in our beautiful Acasma family of light. We love you, Holy One. We love you. All right, let's see. So I believe everybody that's here has had a space. Yes. All right. I will add in as I close this, if you will. Susie and Holly are not here, but I'm almost positive I was sent information by Susie, that her and Holly are doing a expo type space in Illinois together in a few months. So Susie researched it and found it. I think it's like in Naperville or something similar to that. And her and Holly talked about it, and they decided they're going to do it together. So that's awesome. They're stretching out, opening those wings, and flying into a new space as well. Oh, Holly's just coming in the door. Would you like to share anything with us, Holly?
No, the expo was amazing. I loved everybody that was around. I got to meet them all, and oh my gosh, they were such beautiful people. And I loved how the last day the vendors came by and they were checking us out, and we got to check out, you know, the other vendors, and it was just such a beautiful, beautiful space. And the people that I was able to work on, I mean, everybody was so open. It was so beautiful, and it was just the best expo. And yes, I mean, this is not this is not the last. There's going to be more and more. I love the Conscious Life Expo. I am such a fan. It was beautiful, and it was so great to be, you know, there's a team and the shifts, and yeah, I think it all went well. Really good for the first time. It was very well planned out.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for that, Holly. Thank you so much for your presence in this space in all the ways that you are you. Thank you so much for that, Holly. Thank you. All right. Is there anything else anybody else has before we close this space?
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to every single person that was there. Janet, Kate, you were there. I felt like our synergy was so palpable. And I loved, Andrew. I just wanted to give you a specific shout out for how you organized it, how you held the space, how you set the tone, how open-minded you were to everything, and always like looking at like, okay, what could we do next? And it was just really great. And I know I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with the people that were in the other group because we were always like this. And it was so fun to be in person facilitating sessions. Like that was magic. And I wanted to thank everybody for just showing up and being who they are. It was just really cool. That's it.
I love it. Thank you. What a wonderful way to close it, really. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And my heart is filled with love by your words. So thank you for seeing and speaking. All right, Holy Ones. I love you. I love you. I love you. Pokohana, pokohana, pokohana. Thank you all.